All right, boys and girls, kids. So I got this BONDIC. It is a UV glue used by dentists. Comes in this cool little pen applicator here. And what it does is, it's not like CA, because the little light has to cure the stuff that you put on. So this is more of a gap filling, building up type thing is what I'm getting at. I even did some rivets. I don't know if you can see them on there. So you put down a little glob of this stuff, and then you hit it with the light, and you kind of go along and you do all this sort of stuff, and it hardens. So I actually did a little test, and now I can't find the piece because I did break it off just to see how strong it would be. But I did a little test on the end of this. I actually cut it off here with a knife, glued it back on. It was fairly strong. I would say about the same strength as a blob of CA that's on there. It did break off, but it was on there pretty good, so it wasn't too bad. So you get this little light that comes with it, and then you have an applicator, and it's a fairly small tip. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to glue this thing back onto the 407, and we're going to get that out a little later. But I've got my dropped Sky Crane engine here. And they say that, you know, really this stuff is for building around gaps and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to try to fix this little end here that I have. And you can kind of see it there where my fat ass knocked the crane over, and actually not the crane over, but I just bumped it, and this was setting on top in its position. So I am going to try and see if I can't fix this. And so, and you can see I've already got a blob of this shit on here. But she's supposed to be able to put it on and build it up into layers. So with this piece that I've got here, it actually took a chunk out. And you're supposed to be able to sand this stuff and do it all that. So I figure, what the hell, I'm going to try to, and I probably just seal the end of this damn thing with the, I think I did. Keep the light away from the tip of the pen, because I think I just sealed it up like a dumbass. So you're supposed to be able to get this stuff. And I paid, what was it, $39.95 for 3 tubes of this stuff. And let's see if I can get this shit to come out. And I did. I sealed it up like a goober. So now I got to go in and actually clean off the tip. See if I can get this stuff to flow again. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So good thing that, you know, leave the light off. Put your shit on here. Build it up slowly. So you're supposed to be able to build this stuff up and put down a layer, and it'll harden up with the UV light, supposedly. So we're going to try this out. I'm actually going to put this down here, and it's doing its thing. It's building up. This would be like a poor man's 3D printer. I tried a little piece of metal on the flat side of this. Well, when I broke it off, underneath the metal, obviously it wasn't getting good UV light and didn't harden up. And they say in the instructions to do no more than 1.5 millimeters at a time. You just got to keep the the light away from the tip, or else the tip seals up. Duh. Making sure this is nice and hard. That's what she said. Okay, so I see, you can kind of see it there. It's all built up. It's got a weird texture to it. It's kind of sticky, but it's not coming off on my hands. And I got a hand file here, fingernail file. Seems like it's pretty hard. It's not giving me any weird gumming up things. I'm sanding it as if it were part of the plastic. This might be some interesting little things that we can do with this sort of stuff in our scale detail constant battle of trying to find shit we can use. It's pretty hard, but as far as this stuff to sand and be smooth, it's workable. It's definitely workable. The only thing is here, this is a really thin edge. It doesn't cut very easily. This shit's pretty hard. Well, maybe I can take a little grinder right there, because we know how well grinders do. See if I can get this to work. I actually need a little bit more around the back side of this. See if I can do that without screwing some more shit up. And just as quickly as that, you can sand it. I don't know what their guides are for cure times, but it's supposed to be the UV light cures it. There we go. So it's reshaped. And that's what I see this stuff being used for. Small little details that when they get screwed up or something like that, you can do a repair on. Or any little, you need a couple rivets on here really quick. Boom, 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 you're done. I'm gonna throw some paint on this and we'll see how that turns out. Okay, here is the engine. That's the backside. And you can't really, so you can see where I actually ground it down with the grinder. But when it's all said and done, you can't, I mean, kind of tell. There's a little bit of distortion on there, but not bad at all. I see more of the grains of the 3D printer than I do anything else. So this has literally been, I'd say 10 minutes. All the time it took me to put on that cable cutter on the 407. So this is where I see it coming in handy with that UV glue. So I can sand this down and do a couple more coats of filler primer, and I'd say that's pretty good. Kind of cool. All right, you can't see me hardly, but what always comes off? These stupid freaking cable cutters and shit. They always get freaking knocked off, all of the crap, and this isn't going to be any different. So I have my helicopter on my cool stand so you can see it. So I am going to try. Now what's nice is on this part here, there is, sort of a little gap underneath it that will let the light, UV light, penetrate it. So I'm just gonna goop the shit out of it and see how it does. And I'm sure this is gonna snap off because they always snap off. The best thing I could probably do would be to put this on a magnetized type of a situation like I did the very top. So I'm gonna put this in here and see how well it's gonna hold. I don't imagine it holding very well, because we catch these things on everything. And that's on there, but so I'm gonna try to gap this thing. And if this turns out to be a little bit stronger than CA, then I guess it's worth it. But you can really fill around the gap if you wanted to, which I'm going to try to do here, just as an experiment, see how it does. Problem is it's underneath everything, so I don't have a lot of room to, I can put a little blob on there and get it up in there, but I'm actually just putting a little dab around it. It'll look just like a blob of CA, but maybe it'll be harder. And I am seeing a little bit of, I don't know, smoke. It's barely there. It's less than when you put Kicker on CA. And I say that's all it takes to, it's on there pretty good. I hear it cracking. There's more glue. I imagine it breaking off just as easily as CA would. But, you know, for however long this thing was, I mean, comes in a neat little package. And you got 3 of them. One of them was $19.99, and you had to pay shipping, which ended up being almost 30 bucks. Or you can get 3 of them for $39.99 and free shipping. So I opted for the 3 of them just to see how it was. And we'll try it out and see how the rest of it goes. So all in all, that stuff is pretty cool. It definitely has some potential for being able to do some different things that, you know, we couldn't do before. You know, it's on there. I figure it'll hold about as well as CA, but you know, you saw what it did on the edge of the crane engine. Doesn't even look like anything was wrong, and I chunked it off. So this will be a fun one to try. It's called BONDIC, and it's UV glue. So it's just different. It's different properties. You're gonna have to do some experimenting with it to see how well it'll hold. But if you take a chunk out of something, you know, on here, and you can build it up, sand it, and shape something small, you know, kind of fun. BONDIC. It's $39.99 online. I saw this on Facebook, but I searched them online and saw what they were doing. So, yeah, might not be too bad.